Well, how's it going? What is the actual fucking crack? You're all welcome to Buckshot, episode 56? It is 56, by Jesus. For Friday the 27th. I'm recording this on Thursday, because I'm going to bang it out in the morning. And Friday's kind of fucking bananas, so I said I'd get it out to you and get it out to you good. You're all very welcome. My name is Tom O'Mahony, which isn't surprising given that the name is in the fucking title. Oh, Lord Jesus, Tom, you're inspiring already. Fair play to you, God Almighty. But you're all very, very welcome. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to at the minute. It's always handier to do it that way, because then I'll be in your ear holes once a week, and you won't have to go looking. Or maybe tell a friend, physically tell a friend. You don't have to share it on any social media platforms, although that's handy. That is handy. Like I said, if you're I haven't actually checked, because you can't check it on your phone when you're not an Apple phone. I have an Android phone, but if you are listening on iTunes, feel free to leave an old nice comment, or fucking just hit 5 stars, whatever you think. If like I talked about this before, if it's less than 5 stars, don't bother. It's grand. No, it's grand. It's fine. Honest to God, you're grand. You're fine. Honestly, no, keep them. Honest to God, now I won't have it said. You keep them 4 stars, unless keep them for some restaurant somewhere. Honest to God, I'll take your 5 stars. I'll take your 5 stars if you have them. I'll take them. I'm rambling off into a pile of shite here for some reason. Yes, if you're brand new to it, enjoy. This is I'm doing this one a solo one this week. Also, you can find it anywhere really, on all the platforms, from anywhere from Spreaker to SoundCloud to iTunes to wherever else. They turn up in Castbox. It's everywhere really. I've kind of had a look, and it kind of turns up everywhere. Once it's on iTunes and SoundCloud, it tends to kind of be easily found and disperses to all the other ones. Although for some reason, weekly I get offers from different companies. They're going, hey, why don't you come over to us? We're awesome. And it's like, you're just doing the same as who I'm uploading it with already. Like, so I don't... It's hard to... Like, I haven't a fucking clue what I'm doing when it comes to actual proper promotion of a podcast and all the rest of it. It's just the few people that listen to it seem to really like it, so we'll keep doing it that way. Also, there's so for anything else, just gigs and all that kind of stuff, just check out tomomahony.com. Have an old gander around the site. I was kind of making a bit of a proper plan as to the extra pages that I'm going to stick onto it. So there's a couple more extra pages for a bit of crack and stuff like that. I'm kind of getting better with it and whatnot. Because again, I'm learning on the fly here, lads, when it comes to this kind of stuff. I tell jokes for a living. That's what I do. As far as computery stuff and all that kind of jazz, it ain't my forte. It ain't my forte. But I'm getting better. I'm not a complete caveman anymore. I've stood outside the cave. I'm still there, just kind of half naked, standing outside the cave, as I say. Who says that? Why would I say that now? As they say. Nobody in history has ever, I would imagine, ever made that analogy. But sure, look at. Also, there's Patreon. For anybody who's new or hasn't heard of Patreon, it's basically for artists that are doing shit for free. If you want to schling them $1 or whatever like that. And also what I'm going to be doing is I've made 2 more videos that are going to be only for patrons only of podcast stuff. There's also going to be, I'm going to vlogs as well that are going to be patron only. And it basically means a couple of quid, couple of dollars. Throw it into the old pot there and you will get free stuff. But it's actually going towards new equipment. Somebody messaged me the other day asking, can they just pay me? I say, no, put it into the Patreon. Just, you know what? I mean, I was going to take it, but I was like, no, look, just put it into the Patreon. It's fully traceable in there then, and it's purely just, don't make it odd. So yeah, if you go to Patreon, so you'll see the link in the description of this anyway. It's patreon.com/Tom O'Mahony Buckshot. And like that, you can throw whatever you want at it. And you'll get a shout out, obviously, on the old podcast. It just helps it's going to go towards buying better equipment, newer gear and all the rest of it. Moving swiftly along. Who the fuck else wants to listen to social media stuff? But like that, yeah, look, follow me on all the usual platforms if you want updates and just silly shit that I put up anyway. Instagram, I think I'm putting up the most fun stuff in Instagram. Shit that I find funny anyway, with silly pictures and stuff like that. But sure, follow me, and it's very easy to find me. Tom O'Mahony Comedy will find you pretty much anywhere, or on the old chatty snaps as Tom Bear O'Mahony, I think. I think it is anyway. I like that. If you follow me on Instagram, I know the link. There's a description of my Snapchat name in that. It doesn't tell you how organised I am now, in fairness, isn't it? I'm just going, here, just you sort it, people. You sort it. What was I? Oh, I was gigging last night in Unhinged Comedy Club, which is the Haveney Bridge Inn. Coincidentally, I'm back there tonight, but it's for a different comedy night. It's the Battle of the Axe. It's been running forever. The Battle of the Axe. It's not really a battle anymore. It used to be a competition. I think it kind of is still. You can win a rubber duck. I don't know if they do it still anymore. I'm hosting it anyway, and it's always a good bit of crack. It's like wrangling cats, like, because people are kind of there from different pods, and there's a lot of newbie comedians, and there's people like just trying out some new material and stuff like that as well. But I was in Unhinged, and it quite literally was unhinged last night. There was 3 lads there from Monaghan, and I could not work them out. They were like maybe 19, 20, and they were actually from Monaghan, like town. Like, they weren't from Monaghan living in Dublin. These were lads who just came down. Like, they looked like they were on the fucking run or something. And one of them was absolutely blaze drunk. Like, since the beginning of the night, he was blaze drunk, like, and he was giving everybody not shit, like, but he was of no use, and he was just seriously drunk by the time I got on stage, which is always, great being the headliner and all the rest of it. But fuck me, you do get, if the weirdos are still hanging around, it's only drunker they've gotten. Like, and I went, I went too hard. No, I did. I mean, the last night I was in there, I broke the mic stand. I know this sounds horrific, but I did. I probably went too far. Your man seemed all right with it afterwards, like, the usual, I was just trying to help. I was like, nah, you were being a pain in the bollocks, and I had to fucking take you to town. Take you to town. Or as Eddie O'Sullivan would say, take you out to the woodshed and show you my belt. Which isn't as dirty a connotation as you think. It's old school, give him a hiding. But yeah, it was fucking, but it was good. It was actually a good crack night. Like, there was mostly North Americans, from Canadians to actual America. Yeah, there you go. Actual America and pretend America. Sorry, I'm only joking, Canada, because we do have listeners in Canada and people actually contact from Canada. And the lads were they were total stoners. The Canadians were just, hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's like super hot. They were talking about, there was other people from Arizona, and this guy, he was like, oh my, like, the lads had gotten some weed. Obviously at the break, I'm guessing it's not hard to find it in Dublin, like, and the lads had obviously had a smoke, and they were just sitting there like red-eyed going, yeah. When I asked them a couple of questions, it was like, oh my God, I was getting a fucking novel back off them, rather than, people to give you like a one-line answer, or maybe just a one-word answer. These lads were ready to fucking chat. Oh, I enjoyed myself though. It was good fun. I mean, this, as you'll be hearing this, I will have been in hosted the Battle of the Axe. Jeez, I got into a row in there last time I hosted that as well. This woman in her 60s, she kept on giving all the Axe loads of shit. She was sitting there by herself, drunk as fuck, just drinking pints of cider. This is a really good indictment for anybody thinking about coming to a comedy club in Dublin. These are just randomly coincidental. That's all it is. To put, I may or may not have been, and I just would, like, she got up and everything. She went to fucking hit me and stuff, and then she got up another time, and people were like, go on, give her 5 minutes, because she reckoned she could do it better than any of the acts that had been on. And I fucking, that's when I actually snapped. I asked, like, she swung for me and stuff, and I just fucking snapped. I mean, I didn't hate her, like, but I just went, you sit your old ass back fucking down. Like, the thing is, it's all like 5 to 7 minutes, like, and people have waited for, like, it's tough to get stage time, like, and most of them are just fucking kids trying to get on stage, and trying to get 5-7 minutes, and I just fucking went to town about how they were all, and I think they were quite chuffed. They were like, yeah, fuck her. Well, the first 3 who she fucking milled into, but yeah, that was the last time I was in there, so I will tell you next week if I have gotten into a row last night. But yeah, that was it. Gigging, comedy wise. Anyway, I think since I was talking to you last, last Sunday I was in House in Limerick. House is a chain of kind of schnazzy bars around. I think the original House I think is in Dublin, and then there's one in Belfast, and there's one in Limerick. I was there. It was previously, I think, Peter Clohess's bar, the Sin Bin. I was there for Heineken to watch I wasn't there for Heineken to watch. I was there to host a Heineken event with Alan Quinlan former Ireland and Munster player. Alan Quinlan now with Sky Sports and off the ball radio show on News Talk. But it was funny because they'd messaged me during the week saying, you're going to be, Alan Quinlan will be there with you. Do you know of him? And I'm like, I know of him. All right, yeah, he was my school's coach, and we're from the same club in Tipperary. So yeah, it was good. I mean, it was good crack, like, and all the rest. But I mean, anybody who knows or watching any of the rugby over the weekend will know my beloved Munster kind of capitulated a small bit in the European semi-final against Racing 92, the Paris club. So yeah, they kind of fucking fell apart at the last hurdle. Excuse me as I take a big slug of tea. Very professional. I should just get a straw, shouldn't I? Just drink tea through a straw. I'll start fucking gurgling. Then I'm not going to get into the rugby talk of the whole thing, but they played their worst fucking rugby of the whole season for some reason. I don't know why. They absolutely shit the bed. They've been playing great stuff, and then all of a sudden, a team that they've already beaten this year, and came quite close to beating on another occasion, they just fucking fell apart. I don't know, was it fucking too long of a season? Fucking, they didn't have a decent game plan, but it didn't go right for them. They conceded 3 tries in 21 minutes. That's not fucking good. There's no coming back for that against these bastards. But yeah, it was a good. Do you know what? It was part of a good weekend, because the weekend that was gone. The reason why I'm doing this solo one is because people kind of ask me questions and stuff like that, and it's like, oh fuck, I forgot to answer that, and just people just throwing their 2 cents. And I never wanted to make a podcast just all about me fucking talking every week, because it's not. Who's that interesting? Like, and all I'd end up doing is talking about things that interest me, and like. And I would just end up probably being a sports podcast and barbecuing podcast, which has actually been put to me a few times. A chap the other day on Instagram, I'm in the talks with a fella who's kind of a barbecue champion, and I might do a Skype one with him if he's up for it. He was saying he'd be interested, all right, but just trying to find the time, and the timelines are a bit different given that he's in, where is he? He's like Texas or somewhere. I'm guessing they're like 6 or 7 hours behind. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know what else you could talk about in a barbecue podcast. But I think a good I might just get could I get a barbecue fucking king or queen? Somebody who's like a pit master. They've served their time as a proper, and maybe get them on if they're a bit of crack. Yeah, fuck it. Actually, that's a good idea. That's what I'll do. So, because people have been asking about a barbecue podcast of all things. I mean, other than just eating into the microphone, I'm not really sure what else I could do. So yeah, I think I'll interview. Yeah, fuck it, I will. I'll get my. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I've answered my own question. Thank you very much. And if anybody has any suggestions on one, more than because but that's essentially all the podcast would be every week. And I never wanted to make a nichey one, like, because fucking hell, I suppose I probably should. You'd get more listeners because you're just nichey. You are a set thing, but yeah, I said I'd do this one this week, even though I had a guest lined up. We're recording tomorrow anyway, so, but I said, fuck it, do you know what? We just do a solo one, answer some questions, and just get chin wagging. And then maybe for the next couple of weeks, then my natter before the conversation doesn't have to be so long on the interview ones. But yeah, the weekend, I was going, oh Jesus, I was telling you last week, we were on it was the old first anniversary on Sunday, actually. So it was like, bring your wife to work day. When I was doing, but really the thing in house wasn't really work. But we went on Thursday, was it? Friday, yeah. We went the weather was unbelievable. It was like fucking 20 degrees. We drove over to the west side of Ireland, over to Leitrim, to I didn't know what it was at all, really. I knew we were staying in a Hobbit house, and if anybody looks up on my Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about. Holy shit, the work, and they did it all by hand. So they built this whole kind of glamping site with like paths throughout the fucking kind of willow and apple trees and shit. Like this place is fucking magical, like. And of course we land and it's all hours at the time. There's nobody else there the Friday night. No, Thursday. We went Thursday night. And there was nobody. Jesus Christ, it was stunning. This couple moved over maybe 20 odd years ago and just bought this plot of land and by hand did the whole place, like fucking kind of half sickening, because they're you're going, Jesus Christ, talk about making you question yourself. You're like, I don't do enough on a daily basis. the fucking place is just stunning. They have those yurts, those shit hot fucking camping tents, and they have, but like done out to unbelievable standard inside. You'd fucking live in one, no problem. Like I can guarantee you, there's no Mongolian fucking goat herding family that keeps their yurts like this. And they have a kitchen built in, and they, I suppose, where you can just use the kitchen and stuff. There's a barbecue, of course, use that. Burnt the fucking shoes off myself with the barbecue. It was kind of a weird kind of grill, and whatever way I pulled out the rack, some hot rocks that fucking whatchamacallit fell out in the ground. I didn't pay any attention. It was only when I went to walk I noticed, what's that crunchy kind of feeling under my foot, and it was hot coals stuck in the sole of my boots. I fucking hated those boots anyway, so I was glad to fuck them away. But I put a picture up on Instagram. It was kind of, you'll see the depth of the craters in my soles. It's pretty close to coming through to the boot and burning the foot off myself. But Jesus Christ, the Saturday night, or the following night, the Friday night, a 30th birthday party. And you know yourself now, you're going, oh, Jesus Christ, this was serene there for a while. Because the dog, and we had the dog with us, like, drinking fucking homemade cider. Fucking hell, powerful stuff. In the middle of this gorgeous countryside overlooking a lake. And then, you're going to fucking 30th birthday party. So we need, they're all nurses. This is going to get messy. But then I had to think about it. I was like, hold on. The kind of people that come to one of these things have to be kind of halfway sound already if they haven't chosen to go out in Temple Bar or some shithole like that. And yeah, they fucking were. They were 110%. They were good crack, actually. And of course, they brought a traditional fucking band on board, and fucking dog was getting rubs galore, drinking, again, homemade cider. It was actually a powerful fucking night, but it was funny because just up the road, and a lot of Irish people will know of Carrick and Shannon. It's quite a fucking, it's on the Shannon. Carrick on Shannon is kind of self-explanatory. It's a real party town. And probably in your head you're going, oh yes, I had a fucking class weekend there. But it's only when you actually have a serene class drinking fucking organic fucking homemade cider in the middle of this fucking Lord of the Rings fucking book, and then you travel in the middle of the day to have stop for a bite of lunch in Carrick and Shannon. You go, oh fuck me, this place is depressing the life out of me, because there's just fat arse blokes and women just in on hens and stag doos, bits of them hanging out fucking everywhere, fucking fake tan, and I'm talking about the men too, like, and you're just fucking like, horrendous people. Now I'm sure there's plenty of lovely people having a good time in Carrick and Shannon, but just the groups of fucking horrendous cunts that I saw, oh my God, just fucking music blaring in their phones as they walk in groups, and you're like, you're in your fucking 30s, what are you doing walking around like fucking 16-year-olds, like, and this is 1 o'clock and a load of them are already fucking blaze drunk, and you're going, this would be some shit heap come 6 o'clock this evening. Fuck me. Oh my God. It was just, yeah, I had enough. We moved on. Then we stayed down in Limerick, stayed in the beautiful Bunratty Castle Hotel. They looked after us, fucking serious. Gave us the suite, the whole lot. Did the thing in Limerick, and we went over for a couple of drinks to Dirty Nelly's, which is great. Like, it's a given. It's a bit fucking touristy, but it's the only real pub, worth going to. But it was an unbelievable group of lads singing music inside there. The fucking crack was 90. I ended up singing. I can't sing, by the way. But I ended up being just coerced into singing. But it would seem by the couple of other people that had stood up to sing, it didn't fucking matter about your standards. They kind of joined in. The lads were fucking dynamite. Like, they just kind of joined in and just went along with you. Like, there was a moment there where we sang something from Coldplay, and it was just like being at fucking, I don't know, it was an outer body experience. There was a guy that looked like Danny DeVito, this little Jewish guy who was just fucking, he was after about 3 pints of Guinness, and of course he wanted the whole world to hear him, and he was just shouting at everybody. It was just a bizarre, funny scenario. Give it a look. I remember the last time I was there was when the weekend I was opening for Tom Green, and we went in there. I think it was Dirty Nelly's. We had breakfast inside there, and it was like they had hired the guy that was serving us. It was like they'd hired him specifically for the American tourists. I was hoping he was there, but he wasn't the last night. He comes over and he's about, I'm not joking, he's less than 5 foot, right? And he's got the highest, it sounds like his voice has been auto-dubbed, like actually sped up a little. It's like, hi guys, what's you having for breakfast, lads? and you could see even Green was trying to fucking keep it together, like, because it just didn't make sense. Like, it made perfect sense to somebody who had just landed in Ireland from Shannon Airport. You're like, yes, this is exactly who I expected to meet, a leprechaun. But to me, it was like, what the fuck? Come on, man. Come on, put a little bass in there. Like, come on. It's like, so, what are you thinking of having for breakfast, lads? And I definitely, I mean, although if you did own the pub, you go, you're fucking hired. You're absolutely hired straight away. Don't even need to see a CV. Don't even need to see it. You're on. Yep. No problem at all. What's your PPS number? You are working for us right now. Even if, never pulled a pint. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make a fucking difference. So that was the last time I was in there. It's worth a look. I mean, you're going to get a lot of people who are letting their hair, like, it's not as bad as Johnny Fox's. Johnny Fox's here in Dublin is, it's a bit of a shit show, really. Like, it's, you go up there and it's mostly going to be American tourists who've been bussed to Johnny Fox's claims to be the highest pub in Dublin. It's not. The Blue Light is the highest. It's about 500 yards up the road from it. And you can actually physically see the pub from Johnny Fox's. But the Blue Light doesn't have the marketing team behind it of Louis Fitzgerald, so they just say we're the highest pub in Ireland. And it's a real diddly-diddly traditional pub. And they, but you'll mostly just get like, it's just conveyor belt. Get him in, get a pint in him, get him the fuck back out. It's the McDonald's of pubs. It's vile, you know what I mean? Well, it's not vile, but just like at the same time, come on, like, it's a bit, you know, unless you're just going to sit in a corner and get toasted in your own little party. But mostly you look up and it's just bored American children sitting with their goofy parents as they're on their iPad. You know what I mean? It ain't a fucking pub. And this place isn't quite that, but it's not far off it. There was the woman that was with Danny DeVito. She was fucking obnoxious, slapping everybody in the back. This runty little fucking New York. I love this song, and just shouting at everybody who didn't want to be fucking didn't even want to speak to her, but she was just shouting into everybody's faces. You're like, oh God, stop! You're not doing your city or your fucking nation any justice. Shut the fuck up and just enjoy the fucking music. But it was actually a good night. Then back to reality. Then back up. I have another one of these acting classes out in Straffan at the minute. Good standard of people out there now in the way of talent. So we'll see how it goes. Where in the name of Jesus? What was I fucking got to say? Jesus, I meant to say, like, I know I'm from the country, but there was a little village down the road from that site the other day, that glamping site called Gowra. And we drove down, we have to pass through it, like, and we said, fuck, you know, we'll grab a quick coffee here. And I was like, what am I thinking? Like, there's a central, like, I'll pop in here, grab a coffee. And of course, the obligatory fucking cyclists. How are you fat cycling? That's what I want to know, like. How are you fat? Like, how are you fat? There was 20 of these fuckers, and at least 18 of them was wet, like, not talking like a fucking bit of pudge, like, we're talking big fat motherfuckers, like. Now, I know, fair play to you for getting up, but they'd all the gear and the bike. It didn't suggest that this is their first rodeo, you know what I mean? They're not, like, if you, like, it's one thing if you're cycling and you're going, right, I want to drop a few pounds or whatever, but I'm not going to buy the gear just yet, like. They were all in there in their hard-soled little shoes, you know, the shoes that clip into the yokes. Like, every bike, looking at it, there wasn't one under €2,000, like. And these fuckers are just queuing up for the coffee machine. Now, they're fully within their right, but, like, they're having conversations in it, storing away. You're going, just because you put on a fucking... Do you know, that's the dangerous thing worldwide with anybody. As soon as you give them any sort of a club to be in, or any sort of uniform, any sort of fucking identity at all of a sudden their ego goes up about 10 notches. Like, these cunts are all standing around, asses and fat bellies hanging out fucking everywhere, old man balls on display to fucking kids in the shop and everything, walking around their fucking budgie smuggling fucking leotards. And you're, I just don't know. It's a gorgeous Saturday morning. You're going to fucking ruin it on me. But I cannot figure out. Like, some of the lads weren't fat. Like, the two of the lads weren't fat. How were the rest of them fat? Like, you look at any sport anybody does, there'll be a few people who are on the upward trajectory and they're shedding the pounds. like, if that's what these lads were all on, and it's like, where the fuck did you start? Because do you just go in first day, buy the bike, all the gear? I don't know how this works, like, and nor do I know how you, like, fuck me, I cycled at 40k that day, and sweet suffering Jesus Christ for that triathlon. I probably burnt fucking 5,000 fucking calories just in 40k. Now, maybe it's the fact that my fitness was, my body was under so much fucking pressure that I couldn't take it, but, like, at what point do you buy all the gear in your mid-50s, heading to 60? Like, do you stand in the middle of Halfords or wherever you went to, some cycle place, holding up them shorts going, yeah, I want the world to see my balls. You know what I mean? I want them to see my taint as I cycle. And you know what? I need to get the tightest fucking shirt you have. Yeah. You know, give me a packet of razors as well. I'm going to shave my fucking legs. Where's that? When does that point happen? Is that day one? You've committed. I'm giving $2,000, $3,000 for a bike, and I'm going to need all the hideous looking clothes you have. Yeah. I want all the stuff that fucking puts me on display to the world. But no, I know I'm overweight. I don't give a fuck. I want my belly to be shown to the world, and I want my balls and ass and dick to be on display as well. Like, at what point does that happen? But look, I'm not ragging too hard on the old cyclists. I know I am, but fucking look, sorry. I know, I just went off on one there. It was actually it was a lovely morning. The coffee was absolutely rank, in case you were wondering. But I was okay with that, you know what I mean? It was like, all right, you know what? We're in the middle of the countryside. I'm not expecting barista stuff, like. But, you know, it was just, as they were queuing in front of me, it was just withering me. It was just going through my head, like, as I tried. You're just trying to avert your eyes. Mostly is what you're trying to do, because I'm just going to look over in this direction while you two old lads just lean on the counter with your balls out everywhere. But that's that. I'm not going to labour on that point too much more. It's weird, because we went for this we were going to go up to this waterfall. I said, yeah, take the fucking dog up to this waterfall. And Michael D. Higgins actually went flying past us. He was honouring some bloke in Sligo town. I think this is near Sligo, and this badass waterfall. The place looked stunning. It was fenced and stone walls, and it was beautiful fucking, like, visitor centre and coffee shop and stuff like that. But then a big sign going, yeah, you can't bring your dogs up here. It's like, oh, fuck. I'm guessing it must be sheep or something in the local area, you know what I mean? Which is fair enough. All right, so it's like, you know what, while we're here, let's get some ice cream. And it was, because they had a sign saying we've ice cream. It was like 17, 18 degrees. It was like, this is perfect ice cream weather. In the road we go, or into the shop, and I was just kind of standing by the door with the dog outside or whatever. And there's this one, like, on our phone, just leaned against the counter. You know, like you see bar staff in London who don't give a fuck because it's a brewery-owned pub. So that's what people wonder about bar staff in London. They're like, well, why are they so terrible? It's like, because there's never a fear that the owner is going to walk in. Because the owner probably owns 500 fucking bars and lives on a 20,000 acre fucking manor estate somewhere. That's why you'll see bar staff in London just kind of leaned against the fridge looking at their phone. In a lot of bars, not all bars, mind you. But this is essentially what this one was doing. You're like, oh, this is county council money. Right, I get you. This is government money, so you don't give a shit. And Natasha walked in. She says, hey, how's it going? She was looking, like I was looking. I couldn't see any signs for we're pointing even at the ice cream, like. And she's like, hey, you know, could I... Because we were, like, there was no 99 machine. Do you know what I mean? For pulling cones. So I'm assuming it was just scoops or whatever. Like, I actually said something about scoops or cups or something of ice cream. She's like, hey, how's it going? I was wondering, could I get some ice cream, right? And Joanne just looks up from her phone. She's like, yeah. Goes back to the phone. I couldn't fucking believe it. I would have loved to video her, like, because she looked almost like something out of a Little Britain sketch or something. Which she, as it turns out, she was actually English. But I says, is everything all right back there? Your mom was looking at me like I was an asshole. Like, I says, we're just looking for some ice cream. Sorry, man. We're just looking for some ice cream, man. And she's like, yeah. What type do you want? I swear to God, not with a hint of irony. She went, yeah. Type do you want? Just like that, like a little nod of the head, like, yeah, I hear you. Still, there's some pretty important shit on my phone right now, so, you know, if you could speed it up, and because there was no sign of the ice cream anywhere, and herself was trying to keep it together, like, trying to be mannery. She's like, oh, because I was just wondering, is there a menu, or have you different types, or is it just the one? Or she's like, yeah, we've got a bunch of different flavors and stuff. And you're left, you're going, what? Why would you tell us about the flavors and not actually tell you what fucking flavors? So it's like, yeah, that'd be great. Says Natasha, like, she goes, so, type do you want? She's like, what have you got? Says Natasha, and I start laughing, like, at how rude this woman is, because I know if I laugh, at least it won't send me fucking nuclear, like, you know what I mean? So if I keep laughing, because I was seeing the ridiculous side of this, and I was like, oh fuck, we've got like, is there any one you want? I swear to God, this is it. Like, is there any particular one you can think of that you want? Like, fuck, and rather than just fucking saying it. So I was like, oh, what? She goes, oh, there is strawberry, there's some sort of lemon, vanilla, and I know there's chocolate, and there's a couple of more. So, like that, it was like, yeah, those first four will get a scoop of 2 scoops in each of each one of those. Okay. And I swear to God, she went back to her phone, right? And I couldn't help it. Just a little touch of fucking psycho came out. I went, anytime will do. Anytime at all will do. And she just turned on her heels, huffing. And I swear to God, she was gone. She just went in this back door and she was gone at least 7 or 8 minutes. And she came back with the two tubs and just slid them up. I was like, yeah, that's like €6. Like, it was enough to be fucking charging. Anyway, it was about £3 a cup. Like, you're going, you have a lovely day. She's like, yeah. How do you not? Even the most rudest person would go, yeah, you too. She went, yeah. And just went straight back to the phone. You're like, I want to fucking make you eat that fucking phone. It was, do you know what? It was enjoyable because so many people have been so ridiculously polite the previous 2 or 3 days. It was like, you know what? I needed that. I needed that balance, because too much sugar will rot your teeth, which is a metaphor, nothing to do with the ice cream. That's just too much sweetness, and you know what I mean. My psyche needs a small bit of fucking balancing out. I can't have people being nice all the way through, like, or I'll get carried away with myself. It was Jesus Christ. But it was I tell you one thing, head on over there. If you do look at my Instagram on the whatchamacallit, you see I tagged the location of the place. Give it a fucking look. Like, they're just such sound people. What the Christ was the name of it? Pink Orchard Glamping. That's what it's called. You cannot go too far around with this crowd. The dog had a fucking blast, of course. Fucking happiest fucking dog ever. Jesus Christ. But I got a fantastic. I got the t-shirt in the post. It was because the other one had kind of worn out, and I think I was talking about last week about the Coachella t-shirt thing. So fair play, just giving them a shout out to old hairy baby there. They sent me old hairy baby. Ugh, sounds old hairy baby. Old hairy baby. Yeah, sounds kind of dirty, doesn't it? Or funny in another way, like an old hairy baby, like, just some little baby going around like with it. Oh, where the fuck is my brain going right now? I'm just back from a walk with the dog, essentially, and I walked the fucking legs off her. I found this spot kind of it's not quite up the mountain from here. I mean, it's trying to find a bit of forest is tough enough, but it's up a bit of a hill, and you find slightly out of Dublin, heading up into the hills a small bit. And I took her for an hour hike to run the little legs off her. I thought she kept up with me, but at least at the end, like, when a dog looks at you and kind of gives you that look, like, I'm fucked. The mouth is hanging open, tongue is fucking flapping around. It's like, I'm fucked. I'm fucked, but in a happy kind of, I'm bollocksed. But what I noticed though, because I was down, like, the last time I walked the dog all over the place when we were in Leitrim, and I remember at one point we were walking through this foresty bit, near a castle. No way. I'm not doing the place any justice at all. I think it was by Loch Gur, was it? I think it was. Anyway, it was fucking stunning where we were, but it was kind of a forest bit. And this is the mad shit, like, with the when you know things have gone a bit wrong with urban living, right? Because we were walking by this lake and there's a squirrel. There was a fucking squirrel went scuttling up around the tree, like up like a fucking, and it stopped for a second, looked at us, and like the dog just gave one woof. Boom! Like these things move so like you see a squirrel in real life, they're just ridiculous. They look like, oh fucking hell, they look like they're in fast forward. They're just fucking terrifyingly like the quick. Like if you could get their genes and put that in a human, can you imagine that? Actually, Jesus Christ, the quick twitch fucking muscle fibers these animals have. It's like even their little fingers just fucking, they just propel them up the tree, like, and even just around in circles. But this thing, what I'm saying is, this thing was gone. One half a fucking woof. The dog basically went, "Hey fucker," in dog language, and I mean, this thing was just gone, just disappeared. Not even, you wouldn't even get your eyes blinked, and this thing had disappeared for at least 20 foot in every direction. No sign. And I was like, oh, that's natural. Didn't log it in the brain. Really just went, that's cool. That's a squirrel. Nice one. Yeah, nice one. That's a squirrel. Today, because a lot of people do walks where I walk, you could see there were squirrels everywhere, right? But what I noticed was, like, the dog lost their fucking bananas, of course, with this one particular squirrel. And the squirrel was on the ground, not fucking 5 feet from the dog. The dog, of course, is one of the extendable leads. The dog, I was gonna let the dog off. I kind of knew by what I saw the other day that the dog had no hope of catching this thing. But I thought it was just going to disappear, just like the other one. This is the difference. City squirrels, right? This squirrel, I swear to God, now it put a bit of a skedaddle on, right? But it got about 5 foot up the tree, knowing that the dog ain't going to make it 5 foot up the tree, and stopped there at like around my head height. And just looked at me and looked like the squirrel looked like it was ready to light up a fucking woodbine. He was that relaxed. Do you know what I mean? Just smoke a fag and just watch the dog. In no way stressed out. Like this squirrel, other than actually just wearing a fucking tracksuit, it was the most city thing I've ever seen. In that the two of the same fucking species, and just a difference in, like, I don't know, where are the foxes? Like, there's far more foxes in the city than there is in the country, like, from what I can tell. But at least they do a bit of a fucking legger. They still have, a bit of country in them where they're like, yeah, I'm not hanging around to be fucking petted or anything. But this squirrel, I swear to God, I'd say he would have nearly let me, like, for a couple of quid, I'd say the squirrel would have let me pet him. Do you know, it's kind of proven that, like, that's not right. That's not fucking right that a squirrel should be that chill. That squirrel just sat there looking at me going, all right. And more so, the dog just going, look at this fucking idiot. The dog losing her fucking life, of course. Fucking hell. It proved that nature can be altered. So maybe we're living in cities. So where am I going with this? Like, you know what I mean? I could go off on one here about how we're not meant to be in. Although I don't know who I was listening. Was it Joe Rogan or whatever the other day? And it was somebody was saying that we're not really meant to be in. But then you see, you get people out, who have only ever lived in urban environments, and they shit the bed. They get heart palpitations at the idea of no streetlights. Just freaks them out that they're not being protected. They could be eaten alive by the monsters. Which, yeah, fuck it. No, I'm the other way. I am the other way. But then it's fine for me to say it's right and other people to say it isn't. I have been thinking about the news too this week because I just avoided it altogether. But for some reason my timeline keeps on fucking filling up with royal babies. But all it seems to be is like friends of mine sending me weirder and weirder pictures of either the royal baby being held by fuck knows, like to keep on. I don't think I've actually seen a real picture of the royal baby yet. It's just been either her holding a giant fish, or somebody has photoshopped the fish in, or fuck, well, I won't tell you the other ones I've gotten. There's been a few fucking. But then that's, you know what I mean. That's WhatsApp for you, isn't it? Or silly shit just arrives on. A fucking bunch of people have. I know Vern Troyer. I think it was last week. Was it? He died. I saw Tom Green, friend of the podcast, put up a picture of him hanging out with Vern Troyer. But more importantly, Big Tom died. How fucking sad is that? I won't lie, but the amount of people that actually linked me and things going, oh, Big Tom died. It's like, I didn't know the man. In fact, I couldn't name you one of his songs. Is it the fact that we share a name? Is that what it is? And of course, Dale Winton died. A Week of Legends dying. Again, I don't know nothing about him, other than for some reason, people still reference a show that he hosted, like, it must be 10 fucking years ago. That Supermarket Sweep, is it? Is it 10 years ago? Fucking hell, it must be. Some people were referencing it, all right. But I was reading, like, came up in, like, the list of deaths, you know, and it wasn't actually a death. He hasn't died at all. Your man, Paul O'Grady, I think it's a Lily Savage he played. He has a TV show about pets or something. Doesn't he, like, it's about dogs. He's fucking stone mad about dogs. Well, he got seriously sick on a TV show he just did. He was recording out in India. I don't know, did anybody see this? He was out in India and he just started picking up, like, street dogs, and he lay down in the gutter with them. I went, oh, and one of the dogs had, like, a wound with, hold on for this, hold on, put down your sandwich if you're eating lunch. It had maggots in the wound, and he just started picking them out while feeding another dog by hand and letting dogs, like gutter dogs. I'm not saying there's good dogs or bad dogs, but there comes a point where you go, okay, you're in Delhi. These are dogs with maggots on them living in a gutter. And you're going to let them lick your face and then wonder why you end up in fucking intensive care. What? Like, what the actual fuck is going on? Like, Mother Divine, Jesus Christ. Beggars believe. There's nothing else. I mean, there's the other stuff has gone on. I'm not going to get into the fucking news and all the rest of it. But that was my fabulous weekend. I said I'd tell you all about it anyway. Oh shit, I've got questions to do. Shite, yeah, I've got questions to do. One second. I knew my brain is frazzled. I had motions of actually writing notes and all the rest of it, but I didn't. Oh fucking hell. I do kind of end up trolling my friends sometimes. I'm just going, excuse me here, I'm on Instagram and I find myself trolling some of my friends when they put up like lovely pictures and stuff. I just can't help it because I'm such a cynical old bollocks. I just end up writing fucking probably horrific things underneath their pages. Let me just see. Because no, not saying that there's a million fucking messages here, but there are quite a few, and a lot of them are like thumbs up to when I asked you to tell me. Okay, yeah. I put up on Instagram, and anybody who did actually, I just put up in the story, hey, shoot me on some questions if you have any. And then people send me a thumbs up and like a heart. What? I don't know. What does... Maybe I'm just missing something. I'm not with the kids these days where I just don't fully understand. Maybe that like a thumbs up and a heart means something much more deep and meaningful than I... Anyway, here's one from Jermac. How's Tom? If you weren't doing comedy, what do you think you'd be doing? Jesus, you know what? That's a good question. Well, I suppose it's a good question. Jesus Christ, I don't know, Jer. I don't know. I mean, I've done quite a few jobs. I worked for a couple of years as a pig farmer. I also worked... My qualification is that I'm a civil engineer. I don't know. It's hard to nail it down, like, because I mean, like, I probably would still be a civil engineer if there hadn't been a big fucking recession. I mean, I'm still a civil engineer. I didn't hand back the fucking degree or anything, like, but it's I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not a practicing one, like, so I don't know. Do you know what I actually? People keep asking me, do I miss construction? There's times when I miss like having fucking like being able to roar and shout at blokes that think like you. Like I can't behave like in amongst nice, you know, well-spoken, soft comedy folk. Like, cause they're nice people typically. Like you can't be shouting and roaring the way I do. Like back in the day, you can't. Like some frightening. They're frightening them. You know, you'd frighten them. You can't. These people are unicorns. You know, and that they're gentlefolk who, you know, for one reason or another, they're doing comedy, and I can't. So I miss that. I fucking miss that about construction, is that you can. It's rough. You know, it's fucking rough stuff to be talking, you know, and just going on about, like, and just rough natured people, like, and how I'll fucking sort that bollocks now, you know, and it's proper roaring matches, like, you know, and there's no fear, like, it may go to fisticuffs, like, and I kind of miss that. Maybe it's not the healthiest way of living, I don't know. Maybe it is a really healthy way of living, I don't know. But you kind of, yeah, I would guess, Ger, that had there not been a recession, I probably would have. I don't know, would I though? Because at this stage, because I was doing comedy even in the good time, like in the decent times, like, and then, yeah, it probably wouldn't have gone as quickly for me, I would imagine, like, because you wouldn't be available during the day to do things like film demo and Ivor. You know what I mean? Because you got a full-time fucking job. So, I'd say though, I probably would have wound up. Yeah, it's hard to know. If I just didn't come across it at all, I'd probably be an angry son of a bitch. Because there's no two ways about it. It's fucking therapy. And it's really good crack. Do you know, it absolutely is therapy, actually. It's, even if I wasn't able to do a profession, I'd still totally be doing it. Just fucking every couple of weeks doing a gig just for therapy. Just to get it out of your system, like. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. And the better you get at it, the more you can get out of your system. So, you're kind of still at the first hurdle unless you're doing it on the regular, like. But I'd say I'd probably be still in construction. Probably still would be. I'd say had I not ended up. But then, yeah. Because I wouldn't have lasted at it fucking much else, to be honest. I did actually, do you know what? I did have a notion the other day that I really enjoyed working on that pig farm. I probably would hate it now, but at the time I didn't mind it at all. It was roughest work you could ever fucking do, like proper fucking rough, tough fucking work, like 50 kilo bags of grain on top of your fucking head running down, and everything had to be done at 100 miles an hour. Like, you're talking about 10,000 fucking pigs on one farm, and you're working with fucking humans that are only just a fucking, like, a degree above an actual pig. Like, they're wearing clothes and stand on 2 legs. That's about it. This is, you know, and for some reason I felt at home there. Yeah, I'm answering without that. I've gone deeper than that question, Jared, and I probably had to be honest with you. I'm answering more about myself than I am your actual question. You know what? I think I'd probably be still in the buildings, I would say. Sound for that one. Oh, this isn't a question. Oh, well, it kind of is, I suppose. But it's nothing, yeah. This is from Claude Mockler. Mockler? I haven't heard that name too many times. But anyway. Hi Tom, saw you nice warm up for Neil Delamere. You're a brilliant sound. Thank you very much. As a Premier girl, by anybody who doesn't understand that doesn't mean a better cut a person. Well, it kind of does. But as a Premier girl, she's saying that she's from Tipperary. It'd be great if you had a gig in Kildare. I avoid the city like a plague. Cheers. I don't know if there's anything Kildare-ish wise coming up. Actually, there's a bunch of fucking other things kind of in play here that that involve performance and acting and stuff like that. So it's not really, they're going to get kind of in the way of me doing theatre shows and one-off shows that aren't in clubs. See, the great thing about having clubs on the go is that you can also try out new material, and it's not just, you know what I mean? It's an established thing that's there every week. So you just get booked to do clubs. And then the idea is that you go to Edinburgh, you build a show, if you don't gig around enough, like, but I've pretty much 45 brand new minutes kind of worked up that haven't gone into an hour long show yet. But the plan, like, hopefully later on the year, is to maybe team up with somebody and just do a shot of gigs. But it's just quite literally the promoting side of things and stuff like that. It's a pain in the hoop at the highest order. Like, it's. And you know what I mean? You could have all the best will in the world from people, but something might happen on the night, and you just, because until you're, you know what I mean, you have a proper telly name. People will fucking travel in their droves once you have a telly name at all. And trust me, I know there's good, bad, or indifferent of your actual standard. People will come. If they're not even a fan of your stand-up, like, they will come. And even if you're not fucking particularly good, which I can fucking guarantee too, it doesn't make a blind bit of fucking difference. People will come, and they'll come with a notion in the head that you're good. and you only just about have to fucking keep the kettle simmering for about an hour. And some people don't even put in an hour. They fucking have lots and lots of support acts, which blows my fucking mind. So you just got to keep it simmering for a while and give them what you think they're looking for. And people will walk away going, that's exactly what I wanted. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you see, and that's the tricky thing, is quite literally shifting tickets. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've no doubt, Claude, that you're 100% genuine and you'd come out to the show. But you probably need another fucking 70 or 80 people with you. Not you personally, but you need like, you gotta have a room to put on a show. You gotta have a room full of people. There's no two ways about it. Now there will be more in the way of promotions coming and stuff like that when it comes to these kind of gigs, because like I was saying, there's a possibility of like a 2-hander fucking show coming up probably in August, September. So I will definitely keep you posted on that. But like I said, my focus is kind of being pulled to two other big enough projects that are on the horizon that are going to take a lot of fucking time. So stand up. It won't be taking a back seat, but it'll be jumping over into the passenger seat, shall we say, for a little while. But again, I can't tell you a fucking thing about that. But I will keep you up to date, absolutely. As soon as I can't wait to be telling people some of the things, like, some people go, oh, what the fuck? How's that a big deal? What big deal are you making of the fucking thing? But it's a big deal for me, so you know. But thank you very much, Claude. I much appreciate. It's class when you get fucking feedback, because like people don't get to say it to you on the night, and people don't want to be tweeting in public either. Like, but that's, you know, it's sound out. That's class to hear that. You know what I mean? That you had a deadly time, because especially when you're opening for somebody, you've paid to see that person. You haven't paid to see the opening act. Like, you know what I mean? So you're already as the opener, kind of the warm up or whatever you want to be called. You're kind of on the back foot, because you're going, who the fuck is this? This isn't who I invested my evening in. I know hold on. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like when you go to watch the iPlayer of any TV show. Maybe I'm selling myself very short, but you know what I mean? I want to watch Homeland, but I got to watch 2.5 minutes of ads first. What's this shit? It's maybe not as extreme as that, because most people would understand there's always going to be a warm-up act, typically, right? But imagine if you turned it on, you're like, fucking ads, Jesus. And then all of a sudden you're going, I fucking enjoyed the shit out of those ads. You know what I mean? And then there's a break, and then the TV show, there's a break so you can go get a drink. And then the TV show will be waiting for you that you paid to come and see. Totally fucked up that analogy. So but it is class when you hear people go, yeah, do you know what I saw? Because you know by their laughter or whatever if it's going well, but you don't know if you fucking left any kind of lasting. You're like, well, was I just shouting into a drain there because really they were laughing along with me? But you know, it's class to hear that stuff that you're writing and saying is actually going into people's ears and they like it. So thank you very, very much. I will keep you updated if I'm anywhere near the Kildare district. I understand the town can be a pain in the bollocks, all right, there's no doubt. Okay, there's loads more thumbs up, smiley face. Okay, let's go to Snapchat. I fucked up. I'm after. Hold on now. This mightn't end up being questions at all. I just didn't open them yet because so okay, so Derek Gavin. All right, good man, Derek. Who, living or dead, would you like to meet for a mug of tea and a chat? Living or dead? Oh, man. Do you know who I'd say would be good crack? I'd say Chris Farley would be some crack. Not your man who plays for Munster, but the guy who's in Tommy Boy. You know what I'm talking about. For some reason, I always get an impression he'd be some crack. Also, John Candy. Not just because they're both fat lads, but I'd say they'd be good crack. You know, they just struck me as good crack people. I know I'm jumping back and forth here, but I reckon Michael Keaton too. I know these are all American actors but I don't know why, but it's a good question. I'd say Michael Keaton would be savage, especially not so much after Batman or even Beetlejuice. I'd say after he did Multiplicity. You know what I mean? Somebody because he had an input to those 6 characters he was playing of each one. Like, You know what I mean? To be able to play, I just have now. I could be utterly disappointed. So I'd love to say somebody amazing, Nikola Tesla. That's who I'd like to talk to and go, listen, you're being fucking robbed here, Nicola, by JP Morgan and these other fuckers. Which, by the way, if you're wondering, listen to the Conspiracy Guys podcast on Nikola Tesla. It's fucking mind-blowing how the poor bastard ended up with not a pot to piss in, despite being a company getting named after him. You know what I mean? Elon Musk's company getting named after this guy. I'd like to sit down with him and have a fucking powwow. All right. So do you know what? I'm not going to be the superficial actory sort. I'm going to say Nikola Tesla. Derek, why not? Doesn't that make me sound more intelligent? Huh? Thanks for the question, man. Right, moving along. Who else have we? E.C. O'Mahony. No relation. I worked with E.C. for years. What the fuck? E.C. just sent me pictures of the Champs-Elysees. What are you doing, E.C.? 'Tis nearly as wide as the main street in Castle Island. The Champs-Elysees. You've been drinking. You've been drinking. Jesus Christ. Richie Hayes. The good old past fucking podcast person. What the fuck am I doing? Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm after fucking something up now. Hold on. Jesus, I'm a fucking disaster. Richie.
How are you, Tom of the O'Mahonys? Listen, it's your podcast tomorrow. Would you mind doing what's your favourite barbecue meat and attempt to cook it? Thanks.
Did you hear that? He did that did not look like Richie Hayes of Panto and Stage and Mrs. Brown's fame. He had a brilliant filter on there that actually made him look like the fella that actually fixed the washing machine about 2 weeks ago. Man, Richie. What is my favourite barbecue meat? Fuck. Oh, no, that's one. Fuck. Of all the ones I've done, without any adulteration really to it, whether it's covered in loads of sauce and all that kind of stuff, like there's not a lot can compete with a good fucking steak, like. And for barbecuing, when it comes to it, it's tricky enough, like, it's not tricky, but what I'm saying is there's so many fucking merits to be said for like pure grass-fed fillet. You know what I mean? Pure grass-fed sirloin too. I'd probably pick sirloin actually out of the whole lot of them. I mean, but then there's fucking T-bone and you've got marrow fucking bone as well coming. Jesus Christ. But then, what can you say about ribs? Like, do you know what I mean? You smoke ribs there for 5 to 6 hours and it's just you're just able to pull the bone straight out. Ah, Jesus fucking Christ, I've got the urges. We still haven't fucking found a proper house yet. Like, we're still fucking short-term renting a house. So I don't want to set up camp here yet, but it looks like, hopefully, please God, we're after getting one in a nice spot just up the road. So, Jesus Christ, I will barbecue every day for a fucking month. Thanks very much, Richie Hayes, sending me over the edge. I think the biggest kind of payoff was, and I did it, I think I did a video of it. It was the brisket I did. Colin Geddes came down to that party, and we just had a bunch of people over. It took 10 hours to do this brisket. So the payoff was exactly as you would imagine, 10 hours of work paid off. It was fucking outrageous. So I'm going to get off the fucking fence on that one now and just, that's it. Yeah. No more to be said. It's the brisket. It has to be the brisket. I think I've fucked up. There's been a couple of messages here now, and I'm after making a bollocks, so I'm very sorry. Oh, we won from Football, Dancing with the Stars, and new AOM Fitness. Follow that, lads. Give that a follow. It's Aidan O'Mahony, friend of the podcast. It's his, and Jesus Christ, I'm after dropping my phone and everything. It's his new, it was what he was talking about basically. It was his new fitness forum, and it's fitness for everybody. So if you have any fucking gander at getting halfway fit, or just give it a look. He does a lot of it without a shirt on. You know what I mean? That's your bag. Trust me, you'll be fucking in for a treat. So let's see what Aidan's one is. That's it. And do you know what he's doing? He's promoting it. Fuck. I thought it was going to be a question. I'm after missing about 30 questions, lads. Although some of them I don't think they were questions. I think some of them were just, again, thumbs up on Watch McCullough format. There you go, Aidan O'Mahony. Yeah. AOM Fitness. Give it a look-see. I'm after making a bollocks of that now. Jesus, fair play to me. Oh, I'm a fucking disaster. Because this is the thing about Snapchat. When I open it, like, and for the last 2 days, like, to say I don't know what's going on with Snapchat is a fucking complete and utter, Jesus Christ, I'm an absolute knob. For some reason, it was set up to just keep on sending any, like, because I normally just put it to my story or whatever, like, and I kept on sending them to Mickey Bartlett. Because Mickey sent me a few, right? Just funny snaps, and I was messaging back to him. But for some reason, it just stayed in a chat, and there was no option to actually just put it to my story. It was just send straight to Mickey Bartlett. I don't know what I was doing. So I was sending, hey guys, what's the crack? Okay, maybe not as fucking dickheady as that, like, but I mean, I was sending like, so I'm here tonight, and it was just only going to Mickey Bartlett. So Mickey, if you're listening, apologies. But in fairness, I think he got it in the fact that he just kind of didn't answer me back. He was like, all right, Tom's on drugs. So yeah, it's kind of sorted itself again now. But of course, I'm after opening about easily a dozen messages, not 30, but easily a dozen messages there, and missed them. Because that's what I was doing last night. I was going, all right, oh shit, it's gone, without thinking to take a screenshot or actually write it down or whatever. So I apologize if anybody had any questions that I didn't answer, which is pretty much most people. And also Aidan O'Mahony sent on his one, which, to be fair to him, he's dead right. He's promoting it. AOM Fitness. And Richie Hayes and Derek Gavin and Claude Mockler and Jermac. At least we got some questions in. Jesus, I'm some man for one man, aren't I? Missing out on all sorts of. If I'd brains, I'd be dangerous, as the fella says. I don't know who the fella is either. I don't know who that fella is, but apparently he's not a nice guy. Anyway, that's it, done for the week. That's me talking. I'm back next week with a guest. Don't you worry about it. It's going to be all gravy, baby. Thank you very, very much for listening. Like I said, follow it on the website, click subscribe and all these things. Well, you know what I mean? Share it with the friends, leave a nice rating. Have a gander at the website. Fill me in on some stuff that you think you'd like to fucking cut off and all the rest of it. I'll be getting new logos and all the rest of them, sending on stuff to last week's guest, Rob Steers, just to get his out creative juices going. So for now, guys, thank you very much, and I'll chat to you next week. Hit me up on any of the forums that you're going to give out about anything. Good luck!